Hey people, what's up? Today's video is going to be rating Christmas movies part 3. The first movie that I'm going to talk about is Let It Snow. You can find it on Netflix. This movie is quite different from other Christmas movies because it doesn't have the typical cliches. For example, doesn't have the cliche that Christmas is ruined or in danger. The scenes that I enjoyed the most were the ones with Julie and Stuart. The romance scenes, they were pretty cute, especially the ones with the lesbians. I'm removing points because they didn't explain why tinfoil the woman used foil paper as clothing. It left me with curiosity. 8 out of 10. Now we have Tengamos la Fiesta en Paz. Just in case, this is a Spanish movie. This is one of the best movies that I have ever seen that involves damaged marriage. The story is really good. In this film, instead of the parents punishing the kids, this time the children are punishing their parents. I like all the characters and the songs are amazing. My respects for the composer or the composers. 10 out of 10. Now we have Christmas with a Prince Becoming Royal. I think this movie is okay, but the storyline I found it quite bland compared to the first film. The main problem with the story, I feel it was resolved pretty easily and fast, and the wedding didn't feel that important in the story, unlike A Christmas Prince 2. In this movie, the marriage of the protagonist is really important to the main story. Finally, the main villain, I found her irritating and didn't have a good plan to make her succeed. It's not better than its predecessor. 6 out of 10. Now it's time to talk about Kaiju's holiday movie. This movie was good when I was a kid, but when I rewatched it, didn't have the same spark. When someone becomes an adult, like me and my sister, you will find Kaiju really irritating and the parents don't do shit. The movie can be repetitive at some point because the father is telling his annoying son legends of Christmas of all the world with an advent calendar. For a fact, this movie is wrong. In Puerto Rico, we don't put the vegetables for the camels of los Reyes Magos in our shoes. We put grass in a box and a bowl with water. 2 out of 10. Now we have Home Alone 1. I don't think anyone would think that a movie with a kid with murder tendencies would be a really good Christmas movie. But this is an exceptional movie with a weird concept for a film to watch on the holidays. Has a nice protagonist and Marley, the neighbor of Kevin McAllister. It's also a good character, but I can't say the same of the other McAllisters. They're irritating, especially Boss. The one that is less bad is the mom because she cares about her son. This could be a guilty pleasure, but I enjoyed the Kevin's Deadly Skins. And my favorite scenes of this movie are when Kevin puts the dialogues from the movie Angels with Filthy Souls. 8 out of 10. Since we talk about Home Alone 1, now it's time to talk about Home Alone 2. This is an iconic sequel because it has a beautiful and luxurious hotel on it. Has some hilarious moments with Kevin putting the dialogues from the movie Angels with Filthier Souls and the recordings of Uncle Frank singing in the shower. My favorite scene is when the employees from the hotel are trying to find Kevin and to escape. He puts the dialogues from the movie, and later on, the employees believed that the dialogues were real and they ran off thinking that the gunshots from the movie were real. 8 out of 10. After that, we have Home Sweet Home Alone. This is a movie with a weird concept because it doesn't work as a sequel or a remake. It's more like a reboot and it's good as its own thing without comparing it with the originals, meaning the 1 and 2. The Buglers have more storyline and makes them more interesting characters. Max doesn't stay on the back. He pulls some really cool deadly skins. The Mercer family are better people than the McAllister family from the previous movies. I love the joke of the German grandma. I find that hilarious. 7 out of 10 as its own thing, 1 out of 10 as a sequel, and 5 out of 10 as a remake. Now it's time to talk about Noel from Disney Plus. This movie I find it really innovative. Making a female Santa. I love the main character and her personality. The story is pretty good, and what gives an extra points is that, spoiler alert, she speaks insane language. 10 out of 10. Now it's time to talk about 48 Christmas Witches. This movie is really bad. It feels like an amateur movie and feels cheap. The head of the elves looks like he's wearing a sock on his head and he makes some cringy faces, perfect for memes. Santa Claus looks like an orange with a beard. The storyline is childish. The only reason that you would want to give this a rewatch is to tell how bad it is. 3 out of 10. Now we are gonna speak about A Christmas Princess. This movie's pretty average. It's your typical New York woman and a cute prince kind of romance. The thing that makes me not like this film that much is the logic of Prince John and slash Jack. How on earth a random kitchener from Brooklyn with a failing restaurant is better option for catering a royal Christmas banquet than a professional chef? The romance per se is cute. They look good together. The characters are okay except for the queen. She's a pain in the ass. 5 out of 10. Now we have a movie that I actually like called David and the Elves. It's from Poland. This movie is pretty good and teaches you in a good way that Christmas is not entirely about giving gifts or that you don't make friends based on what you give them. I like the characters of Mrs. Claus, David, and Albert. I didn't like the Santa Claus from this movie that much. It wasn't that jolly. He was being bitter and traumatized. Also, I didn't like the parents because of the drastic change of personality. Because, for example, Piotrek was the cool dad in the first half of the movie, but in the other half, he became a boring parent. 7 out of 10. At this time, we're gonna talk about Love Hard. This movie is pretty good and teaches you with a creative story about dishonesty, love, and insecurities. The characters that I enjoyed the most are Natalie, Josh, and the grandma. The characters that I least enjoyed were Tad and Owen. 9 out of 10. Last but not least, we have A Prince for Christmas that I found on Amazon Prime. This movie is cute, has a cute romance between a prince and American woman. I know it's a cliche, but this movie handles it well with its simple plot. Now talking about the protagonist, first Prince Duncan. This guy is pretty chill, wanted to be known for himself and not for the prince title. Duncan is romantic since he dislikes royal life. He decides to stay with the woman that he loves and regrets when he lied to her. It's time to talk about Emma. She's a waitress, hardworking, and cares for the goodwill of his little sister called Alice. Around her, there are some cliches like the parents die on Christmas or near it, and the one that she doesn't want to celebrate Xmas because she's sad or the parents love it. 6 out of 10. That's the ending of the video, you guys. If you like the video, give a like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's important for you to subscribe so more people can see our videos. And have a nice jolly season.